Maria stepped out of her small house in Hazlet, Texas, early on a warm May morning. She enjoyed the quiet before work. Usually she drove to the bakery where she worked as a manager. But today she felt nervous. She had seen the news the night before. Gas prices were rising again. The national average had climbed above $4.50 per gallon, and in Texas, prices had jumped from $2.15 in February to around $5 after conflict overseas disrupted oil shipping routes. Maria sighed as she unlocked her car. She knew she needed gas, but she also knew the lines at the station would be long. People were worried. Some stations had even started informal rationing, limiting how much each customer could buy so they would not run out before the next delivery. She whispered to herself, "I hope I can get enough to make it through the week." The long line at the station. When Maria arrived at the gas station, she saw a line of cars stretching around the block. Drivers waited patiently, engines off to save fuel. A sign near the entrance read, "Limit, 10 gallons per customer. Thank you for your cooperation." Maria parked behind a blue pickup truck. The driver, an older man with a friendly face, stepped out and stretched his legs. "Crazy, isn't it?" he said. Maria nodded. "Yes, I have never seen prices rise so fast." "It's the situation overseas," he explained. "The Strait of Hormuz is closed again. A lot of the world's oil passes through there. When shipping stops, prices go up everywhere." Maria had heard this on the news, but hearing it from another person made it feel more real. She wondered how long this would last. The radio said prices had gone down slightly last week, but were rising again. The man smiled kindly. "At least they're trying to ration fairly. 10 gallons is not much, but it helps everyone get some." Maria agreed. She did not like rationing, but she understood why it was necessary. A community under pressure. After filling her tank with her limited amount, Maria drove to the bakery. She arrived a few minutes late, but her assistant, Jordan, was already preparing dough. "You made it," Jordan said. "I was worried you would run out of gas." "Almost," Maria replied. "The station was very busy. They're limiting how much we can buy." Jordan frowned. "I heard some people are driving to other towns to find cheaper gas. But that uses more fuel. It doesn't make sense." Maria laughed softly. "People are stressed. They want to feel in control." During their break, they watched a short news update on Jordan's phone. The reporter explained that gas prices were rising because crude oil prices were above $100 per barrel, and there was no clear sign of when shipping routes would reopen. Maria felt a small knot in her stomach. She knew that higher gas prices meant higher costs for everything: food, deliveries, even ingredients for the bakery. The town meeting. That evening, the town held a community meeting at the local library. Many residents came hoping for answers. The mayor stood at the front of the room. "Thank you for coming," she began. "We know the rising gas prices are affecting everyone. We want to share information and discuss solutions. A man raised his hand. Why are prices so high? And why is rationing happening? The mayor explained calmly. The global oil supply has been disrupted. When supply goes down and demand stays the same, prices rise. Some stations are rationing to make sure everyone gets at least a little fuel. We are not under government-ordered rationing, but local stations are trying to manage shortages responsibly. Maria listened carefully. She appreciated the mayor's honesty. Another woman asked, "How long will this last?" The mayor sighed. Experts say prices may stay high for a while. Some forecasts predict they may fall later in the year, but nothing is certain. People murmured quietly. Maria felt the tension in the room, but she also felt something else. Unity. Everyone was facing the same challenge. A new plan at the bakery. The next morning, Maria arrived at work with a new idea. She gathered her team. "We need to save money and fuel," she said. "Let's try a new plan. We will reduce our delivery schedule from every day to 3 times a week. We will also encourage customers to pre-order so we can bake more efficiently." Jordan nodded. "That makes sense. And maybe we can offer a small discount for people who walk or bike to the bakery." Maria smiled. "Yes, that will help the community and reduce fuel use." The team worked together to create signs and social media posts. Customers responded positively. Many people appreciated the bakery's efforts to adapt, helping each other. One afternoon, Maria saw her neighbor, Mrs. Lopez, struggling with grocery bags. "Do you need help?" Maria asked. "Oh, thank you," Mrs. Lopez said. "I am trying to walk more to save gas, but it is hard." Maria carried the bags inside. "If you ever need a ride, let me know. We can share fuel." Mrs. Lopez smiled warmly. "You are very kind. These times are difficult, but people like you make them easier." Maria felt proud. She realized that even though she could not control global events, she could still make a difference in her community. A small celebration. A few weeks later, the bakery held a small event called Community Day. They offered free samples and simple activities for families. People shared stories about how they were coping with high gas prices. One man said he had started carpooling with co-workers. A woman said she had learned to plan her errands more carefully. A teenager said he had begun riding his bike to school. Maria listened to each story. She felt inspired. Even though the situation was difficult, people were finding creative ways to adapt. Hope on the horizon. One morning, Maria heard a new report on the radio. Analysts predicted that gas prices might begin to fall later in the year as global supply increased. It was not a guarantee, but it was a sign of hope. Maria smiled as she drove to work. She still had to be careful with fuel, but she felt stronger now. Her community had come together. They had supported each other. They had learned to adapt. She thought about the long lines, the rationing, the stress, and the kindness she had seen. She realized that even in hard times, people could choose to help one another. And that, she believed, was more powerful than any crisis. Vocabulary list. Rationing. Controlling how much of something people can buy. Supply. The amount of something available. Demand. How much people want or need something. Forecast. A prediction about the future. Delivery. Bringing goods from one place to another. Shortage. When there is not enough of something. Community. A group of people living in the same area. Did you enjoy this story? Stories like this teach you English while you learn about real problems in the world. Subscribe to our channel for more English learning stories. We upload new intermediate level stories every week. Click the bell icon so you know when we upload a new story. What do you think? Write a comment below. What was your favorite part of the story? Have you experienced rising prices in your country? What vocabulary word was new for you? Thank you for watching, and see you in the next story.